Hey guys, this is DragonComa coming to you today with a Banlist overview kind of video. And I had to say, I'm actually really surprised and actually kind of interested with this upcoming format. So I'm going to first list off the cards that have been hit and like unhit, I don't know what's the word is, taken off its place and put into another. So let's get started. In the limited area, we have super polymerization. In semi-limited, no, in in the banned section we have super polymerization. In the limited place we have the artifact morale tech. Um, we also have Dark Strike Fighter being put to 1, and then Snatch Steel is now at 1 as well. For semi-limited, we have Honest at 2, and Goyo Guardian at 2, and Dark Hole at 2. And finally, for the unlimited cards, Gale, Abyss Gun, Reborn Tengu, Reasoning, and Transmigration Prophecy. So I'm gonna go back up to the cards that have been I'm gonna go down like in a kind of order, I guess, from banned and whatnot. So for super polymerization, I'm kind of surprised at the same time I'm not surprised because Shaddolls have always been in the top competitive area, and the ability to use super polymerization is always a very big plus for them. They basically can should all like super poly from any of the rogue decks essentially. They can also super poly against Burning Abyss, which is absolutely devastating in my opinion. And so that being said, I can see super poly on the list, but to be quite honest with you, I didn't play against enough Shaddoll players to see the power of this card. I was also playing uh, anti-meta stun this format, so Bansh of the Radiance says no to this card. And so I really didn't see that much Shaddolls being played this format. However, I can still see this card going to 1 because of its ability just to really be abused in Shaddolls. I mean, even at 1, it was still doing things from what I saw online and saw in like ARG live streams or whatnot. So I kind of understand this card being hit to 1. I could also see it limiting the power of masked heroes because when they come out, they're going to be like a solid tier 2 deck. For the limited, there's Artifact Morale Tech and a little price check on here. Look at the price of Artifact Sanctum. It's gone down a lot. Like I'm gonna go to cheapest first and find the first buy it now listing, and I find a bunch of magic stuff. And actually approaching like the lower is around $15. And I actually think this is good for the game because artifacts have always been a very powerful engine, but they've been really expensive because they decided to make Sanctum and Ultra Rare, which really bumped up the price. Whereas Morale Tag was the actual engine of the deck, in my opinion, because you can't play Sanctum without playing Morale Tags, and you can't play Morale Tags without Sanctum, although that's not advised. But anyways, off that Artifact Morale Tech at 1 has really significantly decreased the price of Artifact Sanctum. I believe it's going to go down even more. However, I still believe that artifacts are a very viable engine. You still have your Caduceus, you still have your Scythe, you still even have your Beagle Tack engine. And all of them are very solid in my opinion. Morale Tack was a very good card, but entering into this format, I kind of saw it not as good. The only one that was really good against was Cleefort and Rogue, but for the most part, it wasn't even that good against the top meta, uh, primarily being Shaddolls or Burning Abyss, because they really do not have that much. Like, Artifact Morale Attack can change the game, pop big beaters and whatnot, but it wasn't really that good against Burning Abyss or Shaddolls. So, Morale Attack at 1. Like, I still think Morale Attack is a strong card with Sanctum, and I still think the Artifact engine will still be played, but it won't be nearly as good as past. Then Dark Strike Fighter at 1, that's understandable. It's not even that good anymore. The errata completely destroyed the OTKs you could do with that card. Snatch Steal at 1, I'm actually kind of happy about this because I do own Ultra Rare Snatch Steals. And I think this card's honestly overhyped. It's like going up to 60, 45, 30 for the unlimited, 60 for the first, I think. And that price is just ridiculous. It's going to go down within a couple of days, believe me. And so However, I still see Snatch Steal as being a very powerful card because it is essentially like a second mind control, and you don't have to just use it as like a monster as an Xyz material. Actually, my anti-meta stun deck, I'm siding stuff like I'm not siding. I'm putting in the extra deck stuff like Downer Magicians and Guide Dragons because I can overlay on top of like a stolen Xyz monster. So I'm not so sure about Snatch Steal being at 1 because it can actually uh, finish games. Like steal a BLS, you don't even have to pay the life points at the time. All you do is attack, and win. But that's kind of interesting, and I'm actually kind of happy about that because for once I had one of those banned cards that comes off. Next, Honest to 2. I can see this helping Satellar Knights. I can see this helping Agents. I can see this helping like any light deck, and I'm actually kind of hyped for this because I would actually put Agents off for a while because I didn't think that they were that good. But now Honest is back to 2. I'm probably pick up Agents again. Next card to 2 is Goyo Guardian. Goyo Guardian didn't do anything at 1 this format, or the past format, or the format before that. So I don't think that's going to do anything at 2. You can put it back to 3. Nobody's going to play at 3. Everybody's going to play at 1 because it's not even that good. There's a 28 beat stick, but it cries when Construct pops out. Dark Hole at 2. Now, this one's a little bit... I honestly had to question this one just a bit because stuff like Yang Zings and Shadows and Burning Abyss, and I would even consider Cleaford can abuse this card quite a bit because Cleaford, they're going to come back anyways. Shadows going to get their fusions back anyways. Burning Abyss get all their effects. And then uh, for, I think the last one I said was Yang Zing. Yang Zing can get all their effects, make double synchros. I've seen that before in like OCG, like fun style kind of formats. And it's like, oh, Dark Hole, because I think Dark Hole's unlimited in the OCG. It's like Dark Hole, oh, I gotta bring out like a Yazi and a Boxia, blah, 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 blah. It's stupid. But this actually puts down a lot of rogue decks because rogue decks, even when Dark Hole is out, when you like the decks of old didn't really want to play Dark Hole anyways. Like it was a game changing card, but it was only if you had no cards on the field and your opponent had 5 cards on the field. But even if you're playing Dark Hole now, I really don't. I'm not sure. This is just pure, pure opinion and kind of speculation. But Dark Hole 2 kind of changes a few things. And now to the best part of the list, in my opinion, the no longer banned or no longer like limited, semi-limited banned cards. So I have Gale the Whirlwind. This really, really helps Blackwings. For the longest time, Blackwings could not compete because Gale at 1 and at 2 was not good enough. But now Gale's at 3 again. And this makes Blackwings even more of a control deck, which I'm actually really glad to see, and I might just pick up Blackwings again. Mermail Biscond to 3. Honestly, I never played with 3, but I'm honestly surprised that they even considered this because even now, Mermails can still do a lot of things. I was just on the other day and I was just beating a bunch of Burning Abyss players with Mermails, surprisingly. And Mermail Biscond to 3. As I said, nobody really played 3. I always played 2, even when it was like semi like unlimited. This like Mermails could still do things with outgunned at 3, so I'm kind of interested in this. This may help Mermails gain some speed back, but as long as Dragoons stays on the list at 1, it's never going to be as good as it was when it first came out. Reborn Tengu. This was actually on my wish list to come off the ban list. I only got 1 card to come off the ban list on my wish list, but that's good enough for me. Because Reborn Tengu is kind of slow. It was better in slow formats because like 2-3 years ago, your monsters usually stayed on the board for more than 1 turn. Like usually, unless you're playing some stupid wind-up deck or Chaos Drag deck, most of the time your monster will stay on the board. And Reborn Tengu was really, really good back then, simply because Synchro, bring out another Tengu. Synchro, bring out another Tengu. And Tengu at 2 really hindered that, but now Tengu's at 3 again. Glow Bulb's back at 1. Spore, whatever. Tour Guide's at 3. And if Trishula comes back, woohoo, like Tour Guide plants again. Reasoning at 3. I never played Reasoning. I never saw a deck that played Reasoning. The only time I saw that was actually like Catapult Turtle OTK, but um, no words shall be said about that deck. And then the final card I saw, Transmigration Prophecy. This card never deserved to be hit on the ban list in the first place. It's not even like that good. It was good back in like Dragon format, but in all honesty, it wasn't that good. It's okay now because you can shuffle. Like it's actually not bad now. You can shuffle their Firelakes back in the deck or their Shadow Fusions back into their deck. There are other cards in the back of the deck. It's chainable and all, so it's really funny when you use this card. But overall, it's not the best tech. I would still go with the Ojama Trio for like Burning Abyss and whatnot. So yeah, um, there are some things I want to be on the list. Like I really didn't care if Burning Abyss got hit on the list or not. I just thought maybe put the traps to 1 or even ban Firelake because Firelake's stupid and it's getting old. But I still think Firelake's kind of balanced. That's just me. But overall, this is not a bad list. This is actually a list I kind of like. The only things that I want to get off the ban list is my boy, uh, Solemn Judgment. I really want Solemn Judgment to come off. That's something that I've been really wanting to come off for a while now. But I digress. I feel like this is one of the better ban lists, and in all honesty, I actually like this one. This definitely makes a lot of things interesting. So please leave in the comment section below what you think of this ban list. Do you think it's actually good or bad or stupid or balanced, whatever you want to think. And this is DragonComa signing out till next time. See ya.